This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station. MNC. On News Talk 95.3, 101.9 FM, and 1340 AM, your MNC Nation stations.
Good morning. It is Monday, September the 9th, 2024. I'm John Zimney in the MNC News Center. And the news getting started now with our top local stories. The LaPorte County Sheriff's Office has announced the arrests of 2 people in connection with a series of thefts involving bronze veteran markers from headstones.
Terry Wood and Brianna Puentes were arrested after an investigation that began last month. Multiple reports of stolen bronze markers emerged, with markers being stolen from cemeteries in Greenwood, Rolling Prairie, Union Mills, Carmel, and more. 15 markers were reported stolen and 1 was reported damaged. After collecting evidence, Wood and Puentes were arrested. They're facing charges of theft and cemetery mischief. Alyssa Foster, MNC News.
Goshen police were alerted on Friday to multiple threats made against the community and several individuals on social media. As the investigation unfolded, Goshen schools took additional precautions, including increased patrols all around the school premises. However, the district later posted a message to parents saying the threats were not directed at any of the schools. An Elkhart man who reached down to pick up a pack of cigarettes in his car ended up injured in a rollover crash.
It happened on Barron Lake Road near White Street Thursday night in Cass County's Howard Township. Investigators say the driver reached down for the cigarettes, then looked up and realized he was in the wrong lane. In an attempt to correct his course, he overcorrected, causing his vehicle to roll multiple times. The Elkhart man was taken to the hospital via ambulance for treatment of his injuries. Victor Garcia, MNC News.
Flames shot up high in Anderson, Indiana on Friday after a plane crashed into a cornfield.
The plane went down near the Anderson Municipal Airport, west of I-69 and south of the town of Chesterfield.
This is a single-engine plane that departed from Fort Dodge, Iowa. It was projected to land in Anderson Airport.
That's Captain Darwin Dwiggins with the Madison County Sheriff's Department. He told reporters Friday afternoon that there were no survivors and they're trying to figure out what caused the crash. John Herrick, Network Indiana.
The Friends of Granger Paths Board is now asking for public feedback on the development of their master plan. An open house is scheduled during their upcoming board meeting. It's set for 6 o'clock tonight at North Point Elementary in Granger. Leaders are asking for input and suggestions for their ongoing projects as they strive to connect the community. From the Health News File, new data from the National Youth Tobacco Survey shows e-cigarette use among teens and preteens in middle and high school has dropped to its lowest level in a decade.
It's 500,000 fewer in 2024 than in 2023. The survey shows the decline was largely driven by reduced e-cigarette use among high schoolers. Their level of use is about a third of what it was at its peak in 2019 when more than 5 million youths were lighting up e-cigs. Morgan Hopkins, MNC News.
The suspect facing multiple felony charges, all in connection with the shooting near the federal bankruptcy court in South Bend, will be arraigned today. 29-year-old Juan Moreno was arrested shortly after the Wednesday afternoon shooting that left his girlfriend seriously injured. Moreno was charged with aggravated battery, battery by means of a deadly weapon, and criminal recklessness. And 2nd District Congressman Rudy Yochum has reached out to the leaders of 136 U.S. colleges and universities. He has a direct request to address the issues of anti-Israel encampments on their campuses.
Yochum's letters target institutions where similar anti-Israel encampments occurred last spring, events that led to a range of troubling incidents, including violence, anti-Semitic graffiti, and disruptions within classrooms.
One Jewish student talked to me about how she's now afraid to wear Jewish symbols around her neck because she has been intimidated and put down and just made fun of for being a Jew. That kind of stuff can never happen in the United States of America. And unfortunately, many of our colleges and universities, especially the DEI offices at our colleges and universities, have sat by and done absolutely nothing about it.
Yochum tells 95.3 MNC he wants answers regarding their policies on managing encampments, measures to prevent disruptions to academic activities, and strategies for dealing with those setting up encampments.
A former Elkhart County Sheriff's Office employee is facing charges after allegedly falsifying his work schedule.
William Fackelman is accused of felony ghost employment, according to the Goshen News. The sheriff's office reports that Fackelman's supervisor expected him to respond to a call that came in on March 7th of 2022 for a crash, and he wondered why he wasn't. The department's GPS showed Fackelman at his second job at Lake City Bank, where he worked an off-duty job as a security guard. However, after reviewing his work history, history, his supervisor noticed that he was reportedly clocking several hours of department service while actually working at the bank, getting paid for both jobs. The investigation turned up at least 67 hours of work at Lake City Bank while he was on duty for the sheriff's department in a span of 4 months. His trial is set for December 9th. Alyssa Foster, MNC News.
A 22-year-old Benton Harbor man was fatally shot during a party in the area Broadway and Emory. This happened around 2 o'clock yesterday morning. Police responded to the gathering, heard gunshots from a nearby field, so they found the victim with multiple chest wounds. He died at the hospital. Benton Charter Township Police urging anybody with information to contact them or to reach out to Crime Stoppers. An Angola man's facing more than 16 years in prison for sharing pornographic images of a child. According to the Department of Justice, Brian Ray shared images of a minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct last year. After prison, he'll be subject to another 10 years of supervised release. A 20-year-old man appeared in court last week for a pretrial conference on burglary charges. Kieran Sanders is suspected to be one of 4 people who broke into a house in July and stole a handgun, as seen on home video surveillance. The victim identified him through a lineup and provided police with a Snapchat photo showing Saunders in the same outfit and a black ski mask. Now, following a shooting in August, police seized his phone and found selfies of him with the gun and wearing the same outfit from the burglary. His trial is set for early next year. New this morning on MNC, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb is now leading a trip to Ukraine.
The first U.S. governor to visit since Russia's invasion. The trip focuses on strengthening economic, academic, and cultural ties. Holcomb will meet with President Zelensky to discuss Indiana's support for Ukraine, including agriculture and life sciences. He'll also visit the Wall of Remembrance. The privately funded trip marks Holcomb's 25th International Development Mission as governor.
That's Joe Ullery reporting. The Indiana Department of Transportation is closing State Road 4 this week for construction. Beginning on or after today, crews will work on the stretch that runs between State Roads 13 and 15. The closure will last for about 2 weeks. However, State Road 4 will be reopened for the weekend. Work will start on the west end, closer to State Road 15, and then move eastward from there. You can cast your vote with confidence by checking out the candidates and their platforms from all the hot races before the November election at the all-new HoosierVote.com. Sponsored by Shield Exteriors and Burton's Laundry.
A beautiful sunny forecast for you today. We'll see mostly sunny skies. Afternoon high temperatures getting up around 80. Tonight, clear skies down to 53 for the overnight low. And then for tomorrow, a little more heat, mostly sunny and a high of 86. Looks like the middle and end of the week, we're going to have hot temperatures with highs between 85 and 90. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
You can get the top local news delivered to your email twice each day. All you have to do to get them is go to 953mnc.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.